Life sucks. There's no sugarcoating it. The world is full of challenges and imperfections. You can complain about it all day long, but at the end of the day, you're left with one choice: to accept it and keep on moving. Because a surefire way to a miserable life is to solely focus on the negativity and drown yourself in your problems and in the problems of others. Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel where we talk all about reflection, self-improvement, self-help, fitness, basically anything that we need to know in order to level up. So if you are interested in any of those, do not forget to subscribe so that we can embark on this leveling up journey together. So life might very well just suck a lot of the times, but learning how to say, oh well, is a powerful mindset shift. Instead of focusing on everything wrong going on in the world, let's start focusing on what is within our control. So I want to start off by talking about some of the common things that I see a lot of people focusing a lot of their energy on. Things that are not within our controls, things that even if we would like to help, we can't. So the first one is social media. It is so easy to get caught up in the negativity that is in social media, whether it be the comment sections, people just flat out being rude and disrespectful towards each other, or scrolling through endless posts about injustices, struggles, and tragedies. This can all deteriorate your mental health. And while I know that educating yourself about the world is really important, there is a limit. Constantly consuming negativity, constantly consuming all the problems and everyone's problems, it's not going to change them. It's simply just going to drain you. Instead of focusing on trying to change every single global issue out there, focus on what is in your immediate control and what you can do in your immediate community. Like, you can't cure everyone's struggles, but could you maybe focus on donating or volunteering at nonprofits? Maybe educate those around you, spread love and kindness to the strangers around you, help out a homeless person when you see them, help out a stray kitten when you see them. Like, that is within your control. Next up is other people's problems. Because if you are susceptible to trying to fix strangers' problems, then you're more than likely also trying to fix the problems of your friends and family. And trust me, I get it. I've been there. You love these people, you have a big heart, and you want to help out, but you cannot save everyone. Sometimes we put ourselves into unfortunate circumstances, and it's our responsibility to get ourselves out. And when you rob someone of that responsibility, you're also robbing them of the lesson that they were meant to learn and the growth that comes with overcoming that hardship. Yes, it could be because you just have a really big heart, but it could also be because you have this like savior mindset where you just feel like you want to be the hero in everyone's story, or maybe you just don't believe that that person has the balls to get themselves out of the pile of shit they put themselves in. You have enough problems as it is. You cannot add other people's problems on top of yours. And finally, our own environments. Because a lot of the times we focus on everything wrong in our immediate environment. The rent is too high, groceries are too expensive, we don't like our roommates, our boss is too this. We spend so much of our time and energy living through these challenges, and then even more venting about it and thinking about it nonstop. A lot of the times these things are completely out of our control. Like, we cannot replace our boss, we cannot make groceries less expensive, we cannot lower our rent. So all of our energy that we spend entertaining these thoughts, venting about these things, it's just going to waste. We should instead be focusing on what is within our control, because if not, we are just living as victims, thinking that everything is happening to us. A victim mentality traps you in a cycle of self-pity, excuses, and avoiding responsibility. This poor me, everything happens to me, X, Y, and Z is happening to me, the world is out to get me mindset is not going to get you anywhere. For example, let's say you always use this excuse of, oh, I just can't lose weight, I am just so busy. Instead, you could ask yourself, well, you know what? I don't have the time to be cooking every single day. I don't have the time to be cooking a healthy meal every single day. So I should start meal prepping. That is within my control. I cannot control the lack of time I have throughout the week, but I can control whether or not I choose to meal prep on Sundays or on my day off. I cannot control the fact that I don't have time to go to the gym after work every day, but I can control whether or not I wake up at 4 a.m. to hit that workout, or whether or not I park away from the stores or go on an evening walk that takes 10 minutes. I can't save up money because I grew up poor and my parents never taught me how to manage my money responsibly. Well, you can control whether or not you choose to educate yourself via TikTok or YouTube or Instagram. You can control whether or not you choose to pick up a book and read it so that you could learn how to budget your money and invest your money. Groceries are too expensive and that's why I'm drowning in debt and that's why I'm poor. Oh, the world is out to get me. How could I survive? Okay, well, are you buying the brand name items? Are you focusing more on buying produce because it's cheaper? Are you going to the cheaper stores or the more expensive ones? Have you even tried to look, or are you just saying, this was my experience at this store, this must be the experience at every store, I can't do anything about it? And here's the harsh truth. If you are not where you want to be, if you are not seeing progress, it's often not because the circumstances are impossible for you. It's because you haven't committed to the actions necessary to make the progress. It's not about willpower or whether or not life perfectly aligns so that you're able to take action. Because at the end of the day, every single person out there is going through shit. Even the fittest person that you see is still going through struggles. The richest person that you see is still going through struggles. It's not about whether or not you are getting shit on your way. It's about whether or not you're letting your excuses stop you from taking action and whether or not you actually want to change. So these are some practical shifts that you can make to break that cycle. Number 1 is mindset shifts. Prioritize discipline and routines over motivation. Because motivation is fleeting, motivation comes and goes, but discipline is what allows you to stay consistent with your routines even on days where you just really don't feel like it. Then prioritize your values. What do you value more? The instant gratification of scrolling on your phone, eating out of an ice cream tub, getting fast food, or delayed gratification. The delayed gratification could be finally reaching that weight loss goal, finally being proud of the habits and routines you've established, finally picking up hobbies that really interest you. Number 2 is slow and steady wins the race. We hear it all the time. Start small. If the gym feels intimidating, go for a walk. If starting a business sounds really intimidating, search up business ideas, search up business models. Open that TikTok page, open that website. If meal prepping sounds intimidating, learn how to cook. You don't have to make these big drastic changes. Most of the time, it's the small changes that will yield the higher results. And utilize the resources that are already available to you. YouTube, TikTok, Google. These are all free tools that can teach you literally anything. How to overcome gym anxiety. What are some simple home workouts I can do? What are some easy meal prep ideas? Literally anything you can search up. And somebody has made a tutorial for it. Number 3 is to just declutter your mental space. Reduce your exposure to negative social media accounts, the news outlets, the, oh my God, look at what's happening. Oh, you're not going to believe this. Or even reduce the time that you spend with people who like to vent and complain. Replace scrolling and consuming negative content with activities that bring you genuine joy, that make you feel excited about life. walking, playing with your pets, organizing your space. And the final one, the most important one, is remember that there is always another way. You literally just have to find it. And you can find it by focusing on what is within your control, because there is always something that we can do. Your actions, your thoughts, your boundaries, those are all within your control. If there is a way to solve the problem by utilizing them, find the solution. And if you really just cannot seem to find the solution to your problem, talk to somebody about it. Ask them for genuine advice. Be like, what are my flaws? Help me grow. Because a lot of the times we may be blinded to the solutions, but the people around us who are witnessing our actions have probably already found it and they're just too scared to tell us. But you just have to be open to that criticism, the judgment, because at the end of the day, that is what is going to help you grow. And a lot of the times we maybe cannot find the solution to our problems because we're just feeling so overwhelmed and we're just constantly stressed. We don't even have the energy or time to reflect on our habits, to reflect on our actions. And I think the first step for that is to just identify the trigger. What is overwhelming you, and put some space between it. If you notice that anytime you go on your phone, you feel overwhelmed by all the negativity, well, delete the social medias or limit your screen time. If it's a person, distance yourself from that person. If you really cannot escape that person, go for a walk. Even 5-10 minutes away from that person will help. If it's your environment, like if your environment is just really loud, it's out of your control, put on some headphones, light a candle, and just pretend like you're somewhere else. If that doesn't work, you could also try engaging in activities that ground you. Going on a run, going to the gym, going shopping, spending time in nature. You will truly just be able to tell when something helps you feel grounded by analyzing the state that you're going into these activities and the state that you're coming out of them. I don't know if that makes sense, but for example, there has been a lot of times recently in my personal life where I've just feel extremely overwhelmed. I'm getting adjusted to my new living circumstances, and it is pretty overwhelming. It's like I'm not used to all the new things that are popping up. So there are times where I'm literally in my room having a breakdown, and I'm like, because I have BPD too, so a lot of the things that are going on kind of triggers my BPD episodes. So more recently, I was having an episode, I was like breaking down, crying, and I was like, I don't know what to do. Literally being a little victim, thinking that, oh my god, everything is out of my control, I can't control my environment, this and that. I was just drowning in these very strong and negative feelings, and I decided to go on a run. Put on my running shoes, put on my headphones. I was on a run, and I don't even know when my emotions shifted, but when I came back from my run, I was calm, I was happy, I was laughing, I had the energy to spend time with my family. Like, I was just in a completely different state. I was a completely different person. And that to me is like a clear indicator that running is a good outlet for me. But it's so important to find those outlets because we all need them, and there is one for everybody. And I quickly just want to talk about the reality of excuses. There is not a single person out here that is not struggling, that is not going through something. It's not about, this person is successful, this person is happy because their life is so perfect. It's about whether or not people validate and keep validating the excuses that they set for themselves, or if they just one day are like, you know what, fuck it, I'm still going to go after my goals because these excuses are not going to hold me back. These excuses are no longer valid because I am not going to give them power. Excuses will keep you stagnant. Successful people, strong-minded people find ways to push through their excuses, to push through life's obstacles. And that is how you will actually start to see change. I've seen people in wheelchairs still go to the gym. I've seen people who grew up extremely poor become millionaires. And they do that because they say, you know what, I can't control that I'm on a wheelchair, but I can still control whether or not I choose to work out because I want strong arms. Can't control the fact that I grew up with no money, the fact that I'm poor right now, but I can't control how I manage my money so that in the future I become rich and become well off. So reflect on what is actually like stopping you. Is it an actual barrier, or is it just a lack of commitment to change? Challenge yourself to identify an area in your life where you feel stuck. Take one small actionable step today to make it better, and if you really cannot find a way to solve that problem, then ask the people around you. And honestly, the truth may be hard to hear. This is definitely a big pill to swallow for some of us, because we don't like to hear that it's not our environment, our shitty circumstances, it's us. But it's necessary to hear. You have more control over your life than you think. Stop wasting time on excuses and start working towards the life of your dreams. And if this video helped you at all, do not forget to like and subscribe because it is free and it helps me out tremendously. Comment down below something that you feel like is completely out of your control right now to see if we can give you any advice, or something that in the past you felt like was out of your control and then you later realized that, you know what, this is what I can do. Because I think at the end of the day, we're gonna grow even more if we start learning from each other. But I'm just gonna end the video here. Thank you so much for watching until the end, and yeah, until next time.